My nomination is for the Housing Income team here at Gravesham, and that's for their response to the pandemic over the last 12 months. COVID-19 has presented the biggest challenge to rent and arrears recovery that we've probably ever seen at Gravesham, and the way the team have just responded to this has been absolutely amazing. They very quickly instigated a Help Us to Help You campaign, which focus on providing support to people whose income or their ability to leave home had been affected by coronavirus. And this really did cover all of our tenants, from those that were perhaps older and were unable to leave home, those that had lost their jobs, those who have been furloughed, and those that may, have to have reduced the amount that they work because they've got caring responsibilities or are having to look after people who are unwell with coronavirus. And what this campaign did was really focus on engaging with our tenants so that we could get that support out to those tenants who needed it. And the results of the campaign have been fantastic. Not only from a business perspective, we've actually managed to see a reduction in our rent arrears during this time, and we have ended at year end with arrears of 2.5%. But even more importantly, from the tenant perspective, and actually the help and support we've been able to give, that has gone above and beyond what would be expected from the Housing Income team. And what's really important to remember is here at Gravesham is this is just one sole team. All the responsibility for rent collection and arrears recovery falls to that one team. They don't have the support of big financial welfare teams that some other organisations have had. This is 7 individuals who have worked incredibly hard to make sure that we are providing the support to the tenants that we need to. And that's really been reflected in actually some of the compliments that we've received from our tenants. And that's feedback such as, thank you for helping me get that discretionary housing payment. Because of you, I've been able to pay all of my other bills. Through to tenants that have said, thank you for helping me sort out my income. Because of you, I've been able to afford to purchase a bed for my son so that we no longer have to share this one bed as a household. And even through to, thank you for that referral for packed lunches. My children are now getting packed lunches on a regular basis, where I was struggling to be able to afford to feed them, where they weren't at school and I was having to look out after them. So I might be biased because they are my team, but actually the work they've done over the last 12 months is phenomenal. And for that, I really feel they deserve this award.
The Residents' Resilience Project was formed a year ago today. I remember at the time our staff being inundated with call after call from residents impacted by COVID. Just in those first 2 weeks, our income teams saw an 80% rise in calls. We knew it was going to take a group-wide effort to really support our residents. So we quickly formulated the right people from the right teams to form the Residents' Resilience Project team. Our key aims were to support residents aged over 70 feeling isolated or vulnerable, support residents impacted by COVID, and help minimise the impact of job loss or income loss. Staff made over 48,000 calls just in those first 12 weeks, checking up and supporting residents hit the hardest. We helped over 1,800 residents onto universal credit, which was a 176% rise compared to the year before. We transformed our money and advice pages, gaining 8,000 hits just in those first 12 weeks. Staff completed over 1,000 virtual visits using technology rather than visit someone in their own home. 700 food and fuel bank vouchers were issued to our most vulnerable families, and our financial inclusion team saw a 108% rise in referrals. Phase 2 of our Residents' Resilience project ran from August to November. We recognised our residents needed even more support, and we had to go further. So we made another 35,000 proactive calls during that period. We adopted a multi-channel approach to supporting residents, sending out well over 7,000 emails and texts, and used social media and online platforms to fully support residents. 96% of our residents say we've made a difference over the last 12 months. Arrears are down £250,000 compared to this time last year, and we secured an income management accreditation through Housing Quality Network, a great rubber stamp for all the hard work everyone has put in. And we've supported over 700 residents back into jobs or workplace training. We've also worked with local food distribution hubs and delivered over 1,000 meals to families most in need. As well as that, 73 people have been provided with counselling support following domestic violence during lockdown. We've exceeded our aims, produced outcomes, but more importantly, made a difference to thousands and thousands of our residents' lives.
Hello everyone, I hope you're enjoying the award ceremony. At Ashford, we like to do things differently. We innovate, we deliver, and we work as a team of officers, counsellors and residents. But most of all, we care. We care about everything we do. We are currently remodelling our old, tired, sheltered housing schemes and rebuilding them as fresh, new, fully dementia-friendly independent living schemes fit for the 21st century. Schemes that are light, airy and full of life. Schemes that residents are proud to call home. Schemes in which they can live independently but still stay connected, stay safe and stay active. Schemes that combat the biggest contributory factor for the loneliness in older age, isolation. But isolation has been the buzzword of the last year. Over to you, Lisa.
Thank you, Anthony. Our independent living schemes are designed to prevent residents feeling isolated from their community and each other. Yet the virus has made everyone stay apart, even behind the doors of our schemes in individual flats. Communal spaces were out of bounds and social distancing was well enforced, precisely the opposite of what we strive for. So we had to work incredibly hard to maintain the good mental health and well-being of our residents. Our KHG 2021 awards submission is all about how our team of independent living officers kept residents connected and reassured. Doorstep coffee mornings, residents and local villagers becoming pen pals despite being strangers, virtual forums and just a lot of love for our wider family. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Hi everyone. I've often been asked what's it like being the Chief Executive at West Kent, and here I am 1 year on and I can tell you it's absolutely brilliant. 2020 has not been without its challenges, but I think it's fair to say that with our residents, with our staff and with our partners, we're successfully reimagining how we can deliver our services. So as we move into 2021, we're in really good shape. We're in a strong financial position. Our services, they're in good shape. And I was really pleased that in our recent staff survey, our staff said that 91% of them are really proud to work at West Kent. So take a look at the little video looking back over 2020 and we'll share with you why that is.
Hi, I'm Linda Hibbs, Head of Housing and Health at Tonbridge and Marling Borough Council. I'm really honoured and delighted today to be nominating the Council's Housing Service for one of these extraordinary awards. We've all faced a hugely challenging year. Staff have been asked to undertake new roles or deliver services in a way that we never previously imagined would be possible. The housing team has seen a huge increase in demand because of the fallout from the pandemic. And in their personal lives, staff have also faced their own unique challenges. So you could be forgiven for thinking that the day-to-day work would take a hit, that the service plans we had in place and had been agreed would perhaps not happen. However, that has simply not been the case at Tonbridge and Marling. Across the board, the teams have all been outstanding. Where required, new policies and procedures and projects have started and been completed, reflecting the Council's priorities. The teams have had their most successful year ever in terms of attracting additional new external funding, both in the housing needs team and in the private sector housing team. And across everything, the housing team has also undergone a thorough review of the way the teams are set up and the services that we deliver. In making this nomination, I also want to recognise the partnership working that goes on in housing, and I want to thank all the partners that we work with across all facets of housing. The housing team again have put an enormous amount of time and priority on partnership working because we know that we can't deliver housing services on our own. It would have been impossible for me to have nominated a single individual or a single team, and therefore my nomination goes to the whole housing team. They have been hard-working, committed, dedicated, inspirational, and above all, extraordinary, thereby deserving this extraordinary award. Thank you very much.
Hello and welcome to Link House, part of the Link project with Pathways to Independence. My name is Helen Campbell-Rowe and I'm the Senior Director of Operations.
Hi, I'm Mandy and I'm the Head of Service for Pathways to Independence Ex-Offender Services in Maidstone, Kent. Our team of 5 staff work hard with passion and dedication every day to support all of our residents equally, instilling the belief that there is still hope for tomorrow.
This place has been amazing. The staff, the support they've given me. I've actually now moved from Linked House, in that short amount of time, I've actually now moved from Linked House to now an independent property in the Pathways umbrella.
They've just been absolutely wonderful. They phone up and say, are you okay? You know, they care. That's the main thing. They do care.
It is here that they are given the opportunity to rebuild their lives with daily support in an environment working within the principles of trauma-informed care and psychologically informed environments. We aspire to be leaders in our field.
They have been amazing. They've given me help and aspirations to actually chase my dreams. And even though you can see me in uniform, I do apologise, but I've just come back from work again, due to the support they've given me.
I believe that the Link project is a unique and extraordinary service, and in collaboration with our funders and other professionals, we've successfully navigated our way through the COVID-19 pandemic, and we're still standing strong.
If they see you trying to better yourself, they're all for you. You know, they don't turn their back on people.
This award will be the perfect reminder that no matter how many obstacles we face on a daily basis, we are helping people to overcome their challenges and to achieve great things and to see a brighter future. I believe the staff here will continue to give 100% to prove we deserve this award.
Because of domestic abuse, everything always seemed to be my fault. Did I do something for him to be like he was?
Sometimes when they say it's okay now, I don't believe them. I still feel scared. Sometimes I get worried that the monster might come back.
Fresh Visions provide a trauma-informed domestic abuse counselling service for all survivors of domestic abuse, men, women and children, whether they were the victims directly or the children who were witnesses to it. Everybody who comes to us has a different experience and there's a whole range of emotions, and it's really about walking alongside them on the journey to recovery.
In March 2020, when the first lockdown began, the 5 team flew into action. We sent out resource packs to children, young people and adults. We had a readiness approach to the emerging new ways of working. The rapidly changing environment influenced by the pandemic caused us to find solutions that would help us continue to support our clients. We offered phone and video counselling, and we kept in touch with those clients who had no confidential space at home. Where possible, we continued seeing clients face to face in the schools and the women's refuges. We prioritised serious cases like women and children who had fled domestic abuse during the pandemic and had found safety in the women's refuge, as well as children in schools. We worried what differences these changes would make to our clients and their expectations of our service. We devised a 6-week virtual course for women on our waiting list. This was successful in giving them resources for self-care and the tools to help with trauma symptoms. Under the COVID-19 pandemic, we worked hard to standardise how we could work and improve effectiveness of what we do, and how we could find solutions to enhance our clients' experiences in these rapidly changing times. We also supported Optivo residents who were suffering the effects of the lockdowns. We will continue to provide a quality service to every person. We remain passionate and committed. Our clients are and always will be at the heart of Thrive Domestic Abuse Counselling Service. Thank you for your time today.
(2020-2021). What a year it's been. The pressure on local public services to respond to the pandemic has been unrivaled in peacetime. Health, social care, public health, housing, community safety, benefits, environmental health, to name just a few. And yet, in a weird way, responding to the crisis has undoubtedly brought partners closer together, breaking down organisational barriers in a way that we have always aspired to do, but never quite fully got there. The challenge, as we hopefully re-emerge into a new normal, is maintaining that collaboration and momentum, and housing and KHG is critical to that. As we began the year, the focus was on vaccinations for our elderly and vulnerable, but housing and health colleagues in Kent and Medway were acutely aware that there were certain cohorts that had significant vulnerabilities that were at risk of missing out, including those either rough sleeping or in temporary accommodation, hostels and B&Bs. Together, housing leads, coordinated by Hannah Gaston and John Littlemore from Maidstone Borough Council, the NHS's vaccination team led by Naz Chauhan, and Kent County Council's transport team, led by Phil Lightowler and Shane Bushell, decided together they could do something to help. They designed a flexible and speedy plan to get as many people vaccinated as possible, recognising the sensitivities and vulnerabilities, and also overcoming practical difficulties. Naz and the team ensured capacity at the vaccination centres was kept clear and vaccines readied. Phil and Shane laid on suitable, safe transport to get people there without worrying about funding or contracts. And Hannah and John worked with District and Medway colleagues to ensure everyone was ready to go and numbers and identities confirmed so that vaccines could be issued. This all in less than 2 weeks across 13 authorities. So in summary, this nomination recognises the can-do attitude, the get on and do it because it's the right thing to do, all one team approach, and the way in which Naz, Hannah, John, Phil and Shane led the process. But it also represents the work of tens, if not hundreds more people that went into this. The NHS team and the vaccinators, the housing officers who worked so closely with Hannah and John, the transport operators. If we had 100 trophies, we could award them all, but of course that might bankrupt KHG and Rebecca would undoubtedly kill me. So a massive thank you to everyone involved and congratulations to the 5 of you. Most importantly, you've ensured that some of the most vulnerable in our society are safe and vaccinated, and that is just a great success for us all. So thank you very much.
We're really proud to be able to recognise one of our talented operatives, Andy Lester. Sadly, Andy passed away in December last year after his battle with a terminal illness. It's important to us that his unique spirit and passion for making things better is recognised and shared with all of you. He reminds us that the actions of one person can have a positive impact on so many, and we hope you go away feeling inspired by his attitude for life, his strength, loyalty and selflessness. Andy proved how extraordinary he was by going above and beyond all expectations during the pandemic. Whilst dealing with his own illness, he was adamant that he wanted to continue working. He got stuck in whenever and however he could and had such a positive impact on our service. Nothing was too much for him. He was relentless, even supporting his colleagues during his chemotherapy treatments. I can't talk highly enough of Andy or do him justice in a matter of a couple of minutes, but I hope you'll agree when I say he was extraordinary in every way.
He's Anthony, hardworking and conscientious, but he's always looking for new ways to improve our work processes and streamline our workflow. He's also incredibly helpful, and we're extremely lucky and proud to have him a member of the team at Midway. Thank you, Anthony, for everything you do.
When we saw the email come through about the Kent Housing Group Awards, there really was only one name that came to mind from our team here at Midway, and that is Anthony. It's great to have this opportunity to recognise everything that Ant puts into his role and the wider housing team. I think it's fair to say that Ant always goes above and beyond his role, especially over the past year. He's been our own personal tech guy when we've been thrown into working from home. Ant's IT skills are second to none, and he continues to streamline the processes across the service. I'm pretty sure there's nothing he cannot do with a spreadsheet. Through the staff absence last year, he's also taken on extra responsibilities, making sure that all our service charge bills went out on time, again proving that there's nothing that he can't turn his hand to. So this is just a little way of us to say a great big thank you to you, Ant. We really appreciate all your work.
Alison is a remarkable doer. She gets things done with an infectious energy and positivity. When others say no, Alison says yes. When she talks about rural housing, Alison gets to the heart of the matter, engaging her audience and capturing their attention. She knows what resonates with those that are listening. Importantly, Alison knows that a development is more than bricks and mortar, that it's about a thriving village and community. Knowing that someone's life can be changed by an affordable home is what motivates her. That passion fuels her determination. Alison, we know that you're happy to be an unsung hero, but you're our hero. Thank you.
Local housing needs in rural areas is an emotive subject. Alison knows this, and her sheer enthusiasm and positive spirit literally changes hearts and minds. In meetings, Alison is the one who makes you lean forward and listen. If a meeting is drifting, Alison brings it back on track. When colleagues are flagging, Alison's energy gets people firing on all cylinders again. Alison will do everything she can to make sure affordable homes get built in the villages that need them, and will work tirelessly with parish councils and local authorities to make these homes a reality. Alison, we thank you for your commitment, your passion and your inspiration.
Since joining English Rural, Alison has personally been responsible for 31 village developments, providing 225 homes. But over her 25-year career in affordable rural housing, she's been responsible for many, many more. Alison is determined and will steadfastly work for her community to bring them much-needed affordable homes. This tenacity has encouraged many a parish council to overcome fierce objections and secure a legacy for the future of their village. Alison is dedicated to her job and will always go the extra mile, leaving no stone unturned. She is diligent, dependable and professional, even during passionate exchanges that often happen when a new housing development is proposed. Alison, for all your hard work and positivity, thank you.
We all know Alison is fantastic at her job, but she also has a great sense of humour and knows when to have fun. She has a fantastic ability to put you at ease, building lasting, trusting relationships with both her colleagues and partners. Alison's deep sense of social consciousness, resilience and community spirit is reflected in the work she does. Alison, you deserve this award. You're a great leader, a true friend, a role model and a jolly nice person to be around. Congratulations.
I've got 30 seconds to tell you what I do, but I'm really conscious that I need to impress Sue. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Julie in the contracts team. Dealing with repair complaints, I'm sure you've heard me scream. Improvement surveys, aids and adaptations, helping customers in really difficult situations. With excellent customer service running through my bones, I'm proud to be part of the contracts team providing decent homes.
Julie Herbert is so committed to her job. From my experience since I've been here, she sees something right through to the end and doesn't let it go. I've often been online, in the evenings, and Julie will drop me a quick line and say, look, I've got this idea, I think this will help us resolve this complaint for this customer. She's always thinking customer first, and basically a fantastic example of what we're about here at Golding Homes, and lots of people can learn from her style and her ethos and her behaviours around how we should be treating our customers. So I really hope that the judges can consider this submission. We always receive lots of compliments from our customers regarding Julie's empathetic ear and the way that she treats the customers. So yeah, good luck, Julie, and you've got my vote. Thank you.
Julie is amazing and has my vote. Julie is the most committed person I have met in solving and resolving issues for our customers, and completely embodies our What About Shirley customer service approach. Customers are treated as equals and talked with, not talked to, and resolutions would be what you and I would expect in similar circumstances. Julie is fearless and gets stuff done. Julie is a fantastic colleague as well, who provides advice and helps embed lessons learned. Julie is the person I've received the most feedback on from our customers, who sometimes are at the end of their tethers until Julie gets involved and cuts through all the issues and gets that situation resolved. Thank you for everything, Julie.
Golding Homes recently assisted my mother-in-law, Gladys, who's in her 80s, with a management move from a 3-bed semi into a bungalow, where it would help her with her mobility issues. Throughout the whole of the process, we were really worried about the mental well-being of my mother-in-law. She'd been in her family home for almost 50 years, and uprooting her in her 80s to go somewhere different was a real concern of ours. I have to say, the total consideration, empathy and understanding from the people at Golding Homes who assisted us with the move, in particular Julie Herbert, was just surpassed anything that we could have wished for. The day that Gladys moved in, the words were, "I love it," that came out of her mouth, and we were all really worried that she'd be tearful or burst into tears herself, but she didn't, and that means such a lot to us. So thank you, Golding Homes, for being so caring to your tenants and to our mum. Thank you.
Hi Andy, Brian Horton here. I was reflecting on how long we'd known each other, and it's at least 20 years, going back to our time working in Thanet and East Kent, and also at Swell Housing before moving on to Kent County Council and the other roles that you've had. You've had, I think, an amazing career, and so much to be proud of. From my perspective, really wanted to say thank you for your support for the Joint Policy and Planning Board, and more generally your kind of wider patronage of housing through public health for both the Joint Policy and Planning Board and Kent Housing Group. As I say, you've had an amazing career, and decided to top it off with what must be, if you work in public health, the really top of the tree, a global pandemic. And I just wanted to say that, from as a Kent resident, the people of Kent, but also as a housing professional, everybody that works in housing in Kent has, a real debt of gratitude to you for the way that you've, managed this, enormous challenge. And as I say, you have so much to be proud of. No one, literally no one, has a bad word to say about Andy Scott Clark. And that's something that you need to take with you and hold with a great deal of pride. So with my very, very best wishes for a long and very happy retirement. Good luck, mate. Thank you.
Andy, I hear you're retiring. I should take this opportunity to say a big thank you. It's been fantastic to work with and alongside such a brilliant Director of Public Health. We were so fortunate to have your expertise to rely on. The commitment to your role and to working in partnership has been second to none. You've been integral in supporting joint working to the benefit of Kent residents. I'm sure many others have also said their thank yous, which are so well deserved. I hope retirement brings you the chance to do whatever it is that you've always wanted to do but didn't get the opportunity to. All the best.